about aggressive moms. If somebody tried to pick on you. Okay, this is what I wanted to tap into. The narcissist confusion spell. And then I let this play. This was an episode of Ridiculousness that says caught on camera moments. And so I guess this could be about a narcissistic mom that confuses you with how she feels about you. And then they started the video with a mom that would stand up for you if you were getting bullied by somebody. The confusion spell with that would be you get home and then they bully you, right? I'm confused. Like, you just defended me and I didn't ask you to, but then you don't come to my defense when I need you, right? Things like that. Shinning? What's shinning mean? It says S-H-I-N-N. Alright, well, radiant is shining, but it actually did for the people who think I'm crazy. I already know how the world works. S-H-I-N-N-I-N-G. Shining and center. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. Child sex trafficking. What I'm seeing is from above, from the sky, I guess some would say the ethers, the heavens. There's something in the center. Your heart center could be shining and attracting because of all the cold hearts. That's what I feel like they're trying to say. And it could be attracting darker types of beings, energies, entities, intentions, and shit like that. But there may be a mom that may have no choice but to accept that she actually played a part in child sex trafficking. The fact that I'm talking about the narcissist confusion spell could be that you were kidnapped or something. Or it just is child trafficking. That's actually considered child trafficking. This is, see how I'm not seeing that right. Okay, well, I didn't see it that way. That there's jail time. I'm not sure if there's a statute of limitations on that or not. I'm feeling like, how could you not see it this way? I feel like it's both sides of the coin, right? It would be all this stuff with child trafficking going on. It breaks my heart, or this needs to stop. Somebody needs to defend kids, but it could have been that she is your trafficker. Or one of them. That would be another way, especially if you know or you found out that you were kidnapped back in the days when I said that it was kind of prevalent, and they were mixing up families and paying people to take part in experiments, even for those that didn't take part in it and they were paid, but it was just, I want to trap a man with a baby, so I'm going to take somebody else's in some way. That's child trafficking. And then the confusion spell, right, would be, look at all this child shit. This could be why you have an issue. Maybe you have a long-standing, ongoing issue with a mom. And I feel like this Page of Cups is, she owes you an apology for, I mean, this is, yeah, you could have even been locked up. It's like, I'm not the kind of person to say, well, you shouldn't have had me, right? I can't stand when people say that, and kids say, well, I didn't ask to be born. As a kid, you may say it, but as an adult, it just sounds ridiculous. You're here, okay? But, I mean, at some point, you could have even been in jail multiple times. 302, you could be like your girl here, you know, where I'm in jail, I'm 302, I mean, I'm taking a loss and shit, and it's like, something tells me if I wasn't kidnapped from my surroundings, you know, it's like, and there's your dad, here's the father. I don't know if you get it from both. He's under some kind of illusion. This could even be black magic or just some kind of spell that your mom casts by doing this both sides thing. It creates confusion even with your father possibly. I feel like when it comes to him, it's good cop, bad cop possibly. Now some people aren't even aware that they do this, which is why I say these things and I say it in the way that I do, because sometimes we don't even realize that we're casting a confusion spell. I'm confused. Yesterday you said this about my son or my daughter, and now today, and then I get on their shit for it, and then today you come in and play savior. You talk me out of something or into something. It's this grandiose narcissist main weapon is to turn people against each other and then be the one that brings them back together. I feel like even your dad could be just cut off from the world and shit. It just, it feels like whatever her view of the world is, yeah, he's very private. I feel private, quiet. Even with the neighbors and shit, people could notice a difference in your dad, or your dad's just different. Your dad could follow the mother's lead. Usually when this happens, but not all the time, the spell is enough for the confusion. The one day this, the next day that. But a lot of times they will put things in the food. Even if they could do mirror magic, candle magic, chanting things over the food. Somebody could have a lot of gas. And this could be whatever's being put in the food manifesting as gas when it's supposed to do something else. It could also be that this gas is symbolic of somebody blowing smoke up your ass. And I guess gas would come back out, right? We could look at it different ways. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I feel like a lot of people have this issue with parents, especially if you feel, let's say you were adopted even. You know, you don't know what the dynamic is going to be with that child throughout the rest of their life because you chose to bring that child home. Like, I'm sitting in there in a playpen, in an orphanage or an adoption agency or wherever they wind up, and you came in and chose me. You know what I mean? And now my life has just been a constant battle with you ever since. It's like the mom has some type of issues from childhood still, and most likely other lifetimes, and then now you take on this burden, which it is when you're not ready, of raising a child, usually to fulfill some type of personal feat, which is I want to be a stay-at-home mom, but I need a child to do it, or I need to have a child because my friends are all having children and I need to, right? Or society says if I don't have a child and raise a child. But the thing is, it's not just the raising the child. People forget about what society accepts if you're going to go that route. Society also expects that you raise that child the right way so that the society doesn't have to take care of it in some ways. You know, this isn't house when you're doing this shit, you know. Let's see what else this is. This is dare. I see dare. How dare RX. What's up with the prescription and that there's YNY for New York possibly? That you could have even been put on medications as a child. Freaking, what's that shit called? Well, some of you were put on some shit to put you to sleep, but it's lithium and stuff for ADHD. So now you bring me into this home that I don't belong in. Even if your mom had you and she didn't want you and it was for ulterior motive, your life is going to be different than another child's where the mother's intentions were pure. It's just the way it goes. You become an enemy and a threat eventually, especially if you do better than the mom did in some ways. Sometimes the mom will sabotage your career or your going to school because she didn't get to do it and she wasn't anticipating that you aren't going to be the stay-at-home mom or housewife that she was. And it's dangerous because now, then you have these kids, these older kids in society who are angry now. They feel like their family doesn't want them. Usually the mom winds up having control over how the dad feels. The dad now tells family members whatever makes her look better, and now your family turns on you. It's like you don't even know that because they're older than me, that they're even being 100% honest with you. Next thing you know, it's what am I here for? You know what I mean? Tell me about. So this is you now. I feel like your dad, but this is on the dad line here. I don't know if he speaks to family. I feel like even your dad's family, depending on how old you are, even had a problem possibly with him marrying. If this is a stepmom too, that this message I'm giving stems a lot about the women in these situations and the influence that they have over others because of their personal issue with the child. And how the only one this affects negatively, only one, is the child. That's it. There is nobody else, because the family members can be like, yeah, well, we can't talk to you no more, or we're done helping you. Every time I help you, I hear it from your mom, or something like that. And it's like, what the fuck? Are you crazy? Some of your family members know about you being kidnapped as well, and it's like, so you're going to just point fingers at me. You're gonna knock every decision. I don't belong here, and I had what was fated for me taken from me. Maybe there's some karma going on here where some family members are supposed to be doing something for you later in life, and maybe stop pointing fingers at you, especially for those of you who make good life decisions, or you do at some point. And not everybody does. Even your family members make shitty life decisions, but they think because you're younger that there's a lesson that you have to learn and that they don't. Okay, take the age off the table, right? Some of your family members are older than you. You are this child. You live on your own. You barely make it, but you don't have a choice, right? Some of your family members are in worse situations than you are, and it's because of bad life decisions. This is usually when they stop talking to you. What'll happen is, and we've said it multiple times, you'll change your life around, or you'll take their advice even. Here's the kicker of all kickers. At some point, you just become the child where I'm just going to sit and listen to you, right? Me stating my case, most of you would be great lawyers because of this. Me stating my case, they put violent on here. It could even be that it brings out a violent side of you, and then they have a reason now to blame you. Aha, right? I feel like I'm being set up to react. You know what I'm saying? And the kind of reaction maybe that you give could be physical, or it could be that your words cut deep, but there's something that needed to be said. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. You're always going to be seen as the bad guy here. What was I saying? God damn it. Yeah, it's just, and you will. I felt that you'll have a parent or parents or family members that feel for kids getting trafficked. And you feel, I have gotten no empathy from this. That the worst of this is when you're around some of them and you can tell that they know that you know, and they'll avoid you instead. It's avoiding what needs to be addressed and then addressing everything that does not. Tell me, with the prescription, it could have been, too, that now some of you were on medications and you're homeless, or you're having a hard time keeping up with them. And it was because parents took you to, you know what I mean, friggin' doctors, and they, I guess for some of you it was mother's little helper, but you're the one that was taking the shit, too. Like, here, give me the speed. Back in the day, give me the diet pills, and then give my child whatever they need to sleep. I'm not sure what your play life was like when you were a child when this happens, but I'm pretty sure that when you're taken from a family you were born into, it does something to your auric field. This is everything, right? Which does something to the world. you're down, you don't feel like you fit in, you don't do as well in school. It's impossible for you to thrive the way you were supposed to. Not usually you're very gifted and you can do multiple things, and this is maybe something that was planned this way or written because the universe or something knew that child trafficking was always an issue. I think even back to days of, you know, what the hell am I looking for? Right. I always say 300 days. Kidnapping children. Especially if they were boys and there were no boys, there were no predecessors. That seems to be a big deal. It could have been, and I wouldn't be surprised if most of the kids that were trafficked were the daughters from the group. I said before, it's sextuplets, quintuplets, quadruplets. Usually healthy bloodlines have healthy children. It's their mindset too. You know, they don't have to struggle for much. There's not a lot of stress when you're carrying a child. So that plays a huge role. Now the child is removed, and if you were a daughter, I'm guessing it was you. What's happening now since then was the daughters were born leaders. The daughter was taken, kidnapped, given up. Either way, there was a transaction between two people, whether both parties were aware of it or not. What happened now? The world is crumbling from all of the males, the toxic males running things. The girls were taken from family groups. The sons were put in place of leadership only to fail the fathers and mothers. What happens now? Do you ever get that apology? I want to see. This is emotional loss. This is whoever there's someone wanting to leave the marriage, okay? And it may be, who knows, I don't know, stress. Tell me about this emotional loss. Yeah, this doesn't even have to be with you being kidnapped or adopted, but you just felt like different. I'm different. You showed this child or these children this, and then for what this is a parent that needs to have a punching bag. They need to have an ability to get this out. They don't go to the gym and do it. Some of them, they don't work and get that out. They don't work. They don't go for a walk. You are the way they let off steam. The scapegoat child. This is emotional loss. This is you. You're beautiful. This would also... I mean, did any of you ever think to yourself, please give me zits, okay? Or let me grow another fucking head off the side of my face, please. These are traits, these are features that I cannot help. You know what I mean? Most of you have these moments that you had a life like this. I mean, I don't even know when the last time was I looked rested. I mean, I know I keep saying that, but it just, the message is what's important here. There are people who are currently homeless. This is their situation. And for some reason, you still have some family members that are jealous that you're breathing. It is. It's decline. This is why the world is in such decline. You took the females, the feminine, from these groups of children. And at the time when you have these women back in the day with the men at war drafted, it was easier to set this thing up and make it look like they had the child by the time the men come home. It's not like now where you can go sit in the delivery room and be present and shit and go to these doctor visits. But it does feel like breaking these families up, period. Some of the boys were also taken. I feel like that's the immediate judging book by the cover. What do they look like? This one looks different, this one looks different. It must be bad. Yellow. Gouge. O-L. G-D. Old, I see. Let go. Hook. or somebody that passed on, Chuck Detmer, is saying she's always on the hook. Forever, somebody else is always on the hook. That's one of your worst traits. I don't know if this guy knows your mom or your dad or something, but he's saying that's what it is. They never put themselves on the hook. They never say, okay, that's my fault. Well, it's always something else, right? And what this does is be you. OLGD and B. You let go, bud. Let go. Let me see what LGB. I don't feel they want me to touch on that. Some of you live an alternative lifestyle because of this. Let me explain how this goes for the parents who judge your children, and you either kidnapped them, you adopted them, and you couldn't mold them to turn out like the fuck up that you became. You created so many unnecessary challenges for this child that they wound up in that lifestyle, because it's a lifestyle of challenge. Every day is a challenge when you live your life like that. I'm not behind every one of them. It's some of them you're angry, you're bitter, and you're entitled, but I'm hoping that goes away, or this is just a phase, Andrew. But don't forget Andrew, somebody's saying, and how Andrew helped you out of a bind. You were almost on the street, but you just didn't tell anybody how bad it was. That's what somebody, or Andrew, is saying this. All right. I'm hearing somebody say, if you actually took a piece of paper and wrote down how many times you had a situation, I think you would be overwhelmed. All right, I'm leaving that at that. Jason. All right, let's get a. So it's even that, right? You live an alternative lifestyle. Now you feel like you're alienated from your family and the world. If there could just be a worldwide, right? Because even some of your parents were the victims of kidnapping, your grandmother either cheating, okay, and they could have felt like they didn't fit in with the rest of the kids. This becomes a curse in some way. How does this become a curse, Philly? Because this keeps your vibe down. I don't feel like you can attract the things that you want. You always feel like you don't belong. You isolate yourself from the world because of this reason. You're usually the people who change someone's life in minutes just by the shit that you say. I also want to touch real quick here before I forget that I feel that some of these attacks, I feel an attack on my lungs and chest. Do you know what I feel like they're doing from satellite? And I'm not sure, but this seems like a possibility to me. Wanting to get us all sick so they can force another, you feel me? And put some other shit in it. Because I feel like either some of the shit that was in the other one ran its course, and whatever health problems some of you had, some of you it's dissipating. Others of you could be detoxing your bodies in some way to get that shit out. I feel like they can tell, and they either want to make the masses sick again or put more fear, or they want to see if they can get away with controlling your decision again. It's that sick shit. I feel like these lower vibrational species are terrified because I stated out loud that they weren't going to be able to exist in any vibration eventually. And I think it's happening where they're getting sick. If you are around people and they've been acting funny lately, there's another species here. And what they showed me in my mind for quarantine, they're going to try and force quarantine. This may work out for some of you, though. You know what I'm saying? This may work out for some of you. How would it work out for some of you? I.e., you may wind up being able to work from home. Right? Court was from home. Now that I'm saying this and people feel like, yeah, that's good, they won't do it. You see what it's this constant battle of tug and pull. It's nothing in particular anymore. But some of you may wind up having people that you live with wind up having to work from home, or their hours get cut or something, and you may be the one that has some kind of online income and shit like that. You never can predict what's going to happen after a series of events. Or, yes, even prior to one, absolutely. But I think that they're trying to do that. They're trying to fuck with our lungs to make it seem like this thing is back, or that there's something else. Oh, LGB. Mobile. They're going to be mobile soon. I don't know what. All right.
Would you like to grow your own fruits, vegetables, and herbs right in your backyard? Stick around for the next few seconds and I'll tell you how growing all of this can be super simple with our free From Seed to Spoon app. With our From Seed to Spoon app, growing your own
Don't do it to me. Oh, that's how you get rid of the ad. You just close it out and reopen it. Now someone will try and figure out a way to take that away, right? LGB syndrome. What the hell is this? Guillain-Barré syndrome is a rare condition where the immune system attacks the peripheral nerves, leading to muscle weakness and sometimes paralysis. Is this what they're sending out through frequency? It often follows an infection and can be life-threatening, requiring immediate medical attention. Is this what's happening to some of you? Tell me about who this is for. I'm curious. I mean, this could be for one of your parents or you or your... who's feeling this? Oh, God. Were they going to try and create and say that this thing... Did I just figure out their next plan? Do you see what I do, though? I want everybody to pay attention to what I do. Because of me talking about this, and I don't play victim, I just want you to know how this goes. This is why I say donate to my channel and help me in my situation, because people like me who figure this shit out and have this thing that we wish we didn't have sometimes with these other beings, you understand that we have it worse when it comes to targeting. And they're very secretive about the way that they do it. They attack your money. They can attack my money through my shadow banning my channel. You know, if I got a job and I know it, it would not last long. Maybe I should test the theory. It's just overwhelming, but it's not going to be forever. Eventually, I'm not going to wake up, and hopefully I'll be known as somebody who actually put their life on the line for other people. I doubt it, but let's just keep it moving. Prior and trapped. Mobile, prior and trapped. Mobile. Did somebody have a mobile home fall? Is their last name Prior? There could be somebody that was listening to me telepathically give this message, and because they relate to it, and somebody is hurt under a mobile home. I believe that a good 70% of the people on this planet are the way that they are because of things that happened in their childhood. Even if they had a great childhood, but they never felt like the family accepted them. What does this do to you, though? The damage that this causes. Overwhelming. Once again, I'm not ready to close this out. A hearing? Does somebody have a hearing? Somebody has a hearing today online, or somebody's going to forget that they have a hearing. Or somebody could have said, come look at this mobile home, and what they're going to do is they're going to create a problem so that somebody misses their hearing. So just be whatever, whoever that's for. I am here at this present point in time by no mistake. Everybody's here for a reason. And everybody's reason for being here changes, I believe, throughout the course of their life. Save. Okay. Queen of Cups. I'm here in this present point by no mistake. I think what they're saying is just put your just be aware of who you're showing this love to. Just be a little more. Okay. You're this loving female type of thing. Whatever the situation is, it must resonate with the child trafficking. I would say just kind of put that fence around you, because there's going to be karma again. And I also believe that for you females that were taken, or even the males, it could have been that you were taken, the boys later on. You were empathetic and you acted different than the bully brothers of yours. You were most likely put into another situation as well. This thing with men choosing their sons a little too early. See, back in the day, kings and shit, they chose their sons and then they took them out hunting with them and shit, and they taught them the ways of the land, if you want to say it like that, and how to be men. Now, what happens is these fathers look at their sons and they go, who's going to be the better looking cat? Who's going to be a good shit talker and a manipulator like Dad turned out to be? And now you create another half-ass wannabe leader who can't follow simple instructions. This karma with this justice, I feel like just sit there. You being loving, and I know it's difficult, especially if you're in the same environment. You being like this, when I feel like you should just be a little, could be blocking something from coming. It doesn't feel like fortune. It doesn't feel like good luck. But there's also another person here where they could feel like they don't have any luck anymore. And it could be the mom or the father on this side, or family members who know about this. The family secrets, right? I guess this is a good thing that the government watches everybody for a long time now, because I have a feeling that if there was a movie done, or just a quick documentary on your family you were adopted into, kidnapped into, born into, it may be interesting. Some shit we forget we did, right? See ya.